Well, I'm live. So they say. Oh, I gotta wait. Move my water, move the microphone. Hope that everything is working. Is everything working? Is this thing on? We got a few people. All right. Hey everybody, how you doing? Thanks for making it. Nice to see you all. I am once again as last minute as things can be. My computer is in the shop and did not yet come back, so I am on a borrowed rig tonight, and yeah. But I wanted to make sure I showed up. So I'm just gonna play you a handful. I was singing this one when I was out camping, and just this is a good one to have just between. When my body won't hold me anymore, and it finally sets me free, will I be ready? When my feet can't walk another mile and my lips give their last kiss goodbye, will my hands be steady when I lay down my fears, hopes and my doubts, rings on my fingers and the keys to my house, and oh, hard feelings. When the sun is low in the west and the light in my chest won't be kept held at bay any longer, when the jealousy fades away, it's ash and dust for cash and lust, it's just hallelujah, and loving the thoughts, loving loving songs they sing in the church, and oh, hard feelings. The Lord knows they haven't done much good for anyone. Kept me afraid and cold, so much to have and hold. When my body won't hold me anymore, and it finally sets me free, where will I go? Will the trade winds take me south through Georgia grain, tropical rain, snows from the heavens? Will I join with the ocean blue, run into Savior true, shake hands laughing and walk through the night, straight through the light, holding all the love I've known in my life, with no hard feelings. Lord knows they haven't done much good for anyone. Kept me afraid and it and mean it too. Life and its loveliness, and all of its ugliness. Good as it's been to me, I have no enemies. I have no enemies. I have no enemies. I have no enemies. All right. Well, hi there. Sorry, I don't have all my fantastic technology, so the voice is probably out of sync and stuff like that. But it was so good to get away. I cannot tell you, if you have not found time to go camping, we had a couple getaways during the summer, like a couple days where we got to go up to a cabin and went down to Ojai once. And, you know, just this time getting out doing things and like, man, being alone in nature. You can also go with somebody you love, but man, be alone. Like 3 nights, and just getting to like play guitar and look at trees. I was at this beautiful place in Cuyama Valley, this kind of dry desert, and right next to this creek, and it only runs a little bit in the morning, and it runs because the trees are breathing. So they're like soaking in all this moisture during the day so that they can photosynthesize, and then at night they let it go because it takes more energy to keep it in. And so so this little creek just fills up a little rivulet every morning, and then the trees suck it all back when it gets hot in the day and then let it go again. And it's kind of amazing, trees breathing. I like that. So I got a few requests via Messenger. Elliot, you turned 10 on Tuesday, and this song is for you. So, all right. Been waiting to find you could have been happier given the time if he make up his mind. You'd give yourself to anybody who crossed that line, and it was never a question. He was crowing for repair. Love and affection, you couldn't keep it there. Get over regrets. You were sleeping with the angels, was under the bed, and the more skin that you shed, more that the air in your throat will linger when you're calling your friend. And it was never a question. You were crowing for repair. You gave love and affection, but you couldn't keep them there. Staring at a cold little ambient fault lines, shadow. Wouldn't you know, no answer ever did come, and it was never a question. You were crowing for repair. You give love and affection, but you couldn't keep it there. and it was never a question. She was crowing for the bed. I'll give you love and affection. She couldn't keep it there. Yay. All right, wait, I had another. Adrienne wanted for her 53rd birthday. Happy birthday. So many birthdays all the time. All of you were born. It's amazing. All right. She looked just like a train wreck that could have been avoided in a third world country by a long stretch of farmland where the waterside run high, run the topsoil down the river so that next year there would be no crop. She was as desperate as a salesman at a company that's folding, but they haven't told the staff yet. They're bankrupt and back-ordered, and they're funneling the pensions to the CEO's back pockets, so in 1 week they'll have nothing. I miss you, girl. I hope you're fine. Good luck, love. Or goodbye, or goodbye. She's a girl from Central Casting, always played the sweet young orphan or the hooker with a heart of gold. But she got her sidecar pulled, turns tricks down on Cahuenga, tells herself it's research for the next and greatest role. I miss you, girl. I hope you're fine. And good luck, love. Or goodbye, goodbye. Calls you up just to hear you say she's fine, then she's gone away. And you know there's only one more time you see about her again. Well, it's life informing art, forming life again. Every stupid kid thinks that they're the first in pain, first to rip themselves apart, first to try to live without a heart. I miss you, girl. Hope you're fine. Good luck, love. Bye. See your face and hear your lies. Good luck, girl, or goodbye, or goodbye. Almost remembered all the chords. So close, so close. I like that song. I haven't played that in a while. It's got some cool shit going on. That's it. Anyway, yeah. Best part about the camping trip was like having no screens, and like it's amazing, like the habit of like reaching for this thing all the time. And even when I came back, I kept it in the car so that I wouldn't be tempted to look at it. And yeah, stepping away from screens, no news, no like. I looked at a tiny bit of news today and it felt creepy. And it's the same story. Certain things are shitty, certain things aren't. And people are doing great work to try to make them less shitty. The election is still happening. The executive chief officer is still a malignant narcissist. So nothing's changed. I didn't need the details. And it was so good to step away for half a moment and just like, God, you could see the Milky Way. The sky was so clear. The stars were absolutely gorgeous. And the other exciting thing that happened was I was hanging a hammock for myself, and one of the straps, I like whipped it around a tree and it snapped into my eye. And so I like lacerated my my cornea ever so slightly. And for some reason, I wasn't in terrible pain. There's like swelling in the eye, and now I took some ibuprofen and I'm better. But I had a headache, but I didn't have like the stingy you cut your eye thing. But the great thing was it turned all the stars into like little line drawings of circles to match what I guess is the cut on my eyeball. And so so the stars were doubly beautiful. I had like not only the Milky Way, but also these little loop stars everywhere. So okay, I'm just trying to. I know there was a thing somewhere. There was a request. I got the crowing request. Joe wants courage. Joe Ackerson, you wrote me a letter. I'll play your song. The start of the conversation didn't have too much to say. I was needing some inspiration, just got in my way. Took a shot at an easy target, you were too stunned to say anything. We're the unsuspecting martyr, you were not the most dangerous game. Bring my courage back now, bring it back to me. I'm tired of being afraid of what I can't change. Won't be living free. Well, it could be that I was mistaken. Maybe I'd seen myself. But it's hard to understand somebody who doesn't want to understand himself. There's an ocean of unlatched windows, world of unlocked homes. Only reason anybody can still feel safe is most people still knock on the door. Bring my courage back now, bring it back to me. I'm tired of being afraid of what I can't change. Want to be living free. I don't want to be a prisoner, bound by these chains. Don't want to be a prisoner, want to be free again. Though we all return to dust, there's a lot of us in a terrible rush to. By the end of the Inquisition was brought back from the brink. Took him out and a couple of friends got together and all went out for drinks. They left me here in this empty dungeon, but they're living it up downtown. As if they ever even existed. Doesn't make much difference now. Doesn't make much difference now. Gonna take my courage back now, bring it back to me. I'm tired of being afraid of what I can't change. I wanna be living free. I don't wanna be a prisoner, road to Damascus, some take the road to hell. I'll take Highway 1 to the Evergreens, and everything will turn out well. All right. Yay. I should see if everything is still working. Montana. Yeah. Oh, outside. Outside is such a good thing. Nancy, please, says James. Okay. Okay, James. Nancy. I can't believe you bend your words like Uri Geller's spoon. Not quite safe here, and every judgment seems to smack of doom. Are you joking? No, I'm just fine. You take Nancy, me Loretta's fine. Legal precedent set us straight, but no one's brought up suit. And I'm assuming if they did, the point would still be moot. Are you joking? I'm just fine. You take Nancy, me Loretta's fine. No, I've changed my mind, but I'll take Nancy, you Loretta's fine. Still we walk without quite seeing things, and I'll admit there's not that much to see, and I will follow through and expect that you will follow suit. Well, I can't believe you bend your words like Uri Geller's spoons. Not quite safe here, and every judgment seems to smack of doom. Are you okay? Oh, I'm just fine. You take Nancy, me Loretta's fine. No, I've changed my mind, but I'll take Nancy, you Loretta's fine. Loretta's fine. Allison's better. Amy Lou's almost perfect. Oh, Emmy Lou. I would ride all the way from Boulder to Birmingham. I'm so glad I managed to make this work. I wasn't sure if I'd actually get a show tonight, and but I said I would, so here I am. I got a message from my daughter that says service bad. I don't know what that means. Sorry. That was the text that just came in. Service bad. I don't know if she's having a bad cell phone moment. I don't know if she's at a 4-star restaurant that is disappointing her. Probably not. But something is bad with the service. It could be that am I glitchy? It might be that, but I don't think she watches these things. Can we have a story behind the song night? Yeah, we could do that. We could totally have a story behind the song. I actually made the mistake of looking once again at social media. Like, I got to avoid it because it poisons my mind. Like, there is so much to pay attention to, like just moment to moment in the real world. When I was out camping, I read, if you've never read Being Peace by Thich Nhat Hanh, it's it's a really great book. I love Thich Nhat Hanh. He teaches complex concepts in a way that's almost like he's talking to children. Things sound like really simple and really easy until you think about them. And there's a certain an exquisite logic to his thought and a plainness of expression of it, but then you kind of sit back and grasp the implication of what it actually means to think and live in the ways that he's talking about, and it's kind of overwhelming. So I read Being Peace over my weekend, and why am I thinking about that? I was just amazed coming home how distracted I was, and how much, once again, this had to do with this. Like the number of times I pull it out of my pocket, the number of times I look at it. And I started the first day, mostly I would just kind of instinctively, if I had any moment where something wasn't filling it, where I wasn't listening to something, actively doing something, I would automatically pull my phone out and look at it. And then I'd stick it back in my pocket. And I probably did that a dozen times yesterday. And then got a letter from somebody on social media that made me upset. So I wrote a long, shitty response. Anyway, but yeah. And some of the gist of that was about the complexity of simple things. Like, I wrote this song, the easy ones. Here, I'll just do it right now. And then I'll play a couple more, and then I'm going to go. I got stuff to catch up on. So, but I wrote the easy ones for a thing called the Bushwick Book Club. It started in Bushwick, Brooklyn, and it's where a bunch of whole songwriters all read the same book and then have to write 2 or 3 songs about that book, or in my case, one or 2 songs. I wrote 1 song. And the book was The Art of Happiness by the Dalai Lama. And he talks a lot about Tonglen practice and about this idea of, meditations where you start by meditating on love, and start by concentrating on people who make you feel warm and fuzzy, and start by people who are really easy, so whoever's just the least conflict oriented in your life, and then move out to those who you love, but they're a little bit thorny, there's a little bit, and then expand the circle and expand the circle and expand the circle, and basically stretch your compassion and stretch your capacity to love people, which is sounds like simple and basic, but then you get to how do you even love, say, a malignant narcissist with a lot of power to hurt people and kill people and sow violence, and still keep some kind of compassion, and how do you not hate in the midst of that? And it's and if you've seen more than one of these things, you've heard me go back and forth from just absolute abject rage to trying to think God, how hurt must you be? And even in that, not to pretend I know him, not to pretend I can judge him. I don't know the story. But to ask what makes people need to be divisive and angry and win and forget about the needs of others or the suffering of others, and kind of even just have compassion for how awful it must be to be a person who exerts your force to hurt other people all the time, to insult, to always be exacting revenge and one-upping, and just seems like such a hard way to live. And as much as you can want to stop the damage and speak up about the injustice around it, you also have to think of the torture it would be to be that person. So anyway, so it's a simple song, but it's not a simple song. You can't just love the easy ones. You can't just love the easy ones. You gotta let them in when you'd rather just run. You can't just love the easy ones. You can't just play the simple songs. You can't just play the simple songs. Gotta knuckle down till your fingers are raw. You can't just play the simple songs. When I can't face ones I feel, it'll all become clear. Oh, and I embrace the ones I feel, it'll all become clear. Can't just walk the shortest road. You can't just walk the shortest road. Gotta straighten your back neath the heaviest load. You can't just walk the shortest road. When I can't face the ones I feel, it'll all become clear. Oh, and I embrace the ones I feel, it'll all become clear. For all the suffering souls beside me, I pray love will guide me. I pray love will guide me home. Just love the easy ones. You can't just love the easy ones. You gotta let them in deep when you'd rather just run. You can't just love the easy ones. Yeah, once again, I'm gonna say if you're wanting a good book, Being Peace is a really interesting one, especially for now. He's a guy, and some of what he talks about it can seem really pat and simple, and then you realize he came out of Vietnam at a time when there was a period where he and his work were hated by both the communists and the old regime in Vietnam, because he refused to be partisan. He was just pro-peace, and he wanted to listen to everybody, and he wouldn't take sides. And at the same time, speaking up against oppression, speaking up, and so how do you do this thing where you speak out against what is wrong, what you know to be morally abhorrent, and at the same time not take a side? And I feel like social media and these little informational prisons we find ourselves in, and I know I'm probably in my own, make it feel like we don't have common ground and we can't talk to each other at all, and we get axiomatic, and we're like being trained to be unable to communicate, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous. If we can't communicate, I don't know what the hell we do. So So wait, I'm just gonna find. Um, no, you can be peaceful and you cannot take sides. You can. I mean, doesn't mean you don't not try to vote the bastard out. And it doesn't mean you don't, speak up for oppressed peoples and challenge your own comfort for that. But challenging your own comfort means not just getting angry at somebody else, but also asking, what is it they're really worried about? What are they concerned about? What are they coming from? And why do they feel the way they feel? And you can't ever stop asking those questions, which does not mean you don't have an opinion, does not mean you don't fight for justice, does not mean you don't do the right thing. But in some ways that's different than taking sides, because when you take sides, you stop listening. And stopping listening is the core of this poison. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. We might just be fucked. Anyway. So, yeah, peace doesn't mean blind acceptance. Exactly. Exactly. Ta-da. There he goes. So, where? And doesn't mean QAnon's not crazy. There's a lot of crazy going on right now. But yeah, interbeing is a great word. I'm just wondering what to go out on. Grief and praise? Should I go out on grief and praise? Yeah, why not? I'll go out on grief and praise. So I'm sorry about my A2. Anyway, thank you guys for showing up. I will be back Monday. We'll see if I get my computer back or not. I hope this is working well enough for all of you. And thanks for showing up, and thanks for giving me the time to go away. Thank you for your tips. Thank you for all your kindness to each other. It makes me so happy to see how kind you are to each other. All right. Oh, you sisters and sir, children of mine, humble my heart. I will also say one other thing about peace and taking sides. There is such a thing as truth. But truth is always changing, right? You pretend you have the truth on your side and you're probably wrong, because truth is moving. But there are objective facts. And fact is maybe different than truth, because truth can be depends on your position, right? But there's empirical evidence. Like, did a person say a thing or not say a thing? Things like that. Did they do a thing or not do a thing? And empiricism is important. And empiricism, I think, doesn't have anything to do with ideology. And we live in a time, and I think one of our big dangers now is that empiricism itself is in danger. And so there is both holding to what you know that someone actually said or did, or what actually happened, and then contrasting that to a story that is told, and learning to discern fact from fiction. And when people have strong emotional strong emotional opinions based on things that are fiction, I think there are ways to talk to people where you can understand the deep emotion they have about the fiction. For instance, QAnon, if you really think that all the Democrats are part of an international sex trafficking ring with children, that would be incredibly upsetting if you thought that absolute confabulation of conspiracy theory and untruth was real. It would be super upsetting. And so there's a way to sit with somebody and be like, hell yeah, if Hillary Clinton were actually a sex trafficker, that would really piss me off. But she isn't. So your anger, understandable, perhaps misplaced. But then again, some things, I don't know. It's hard to argue. I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to figure it out, just like all of us. Anyway, on that note. Oh, you sisters in the circle, children of mine, humble my heart. Oh, and people wanted stories. I'm sorry, I'm just going to talk too much tonight. So this came this song was at the very end of the recording sessions for Winter Pays for Summer. No, I'm sorry, for Swallowed by the New. And I'd written all the songs. It was my last day of recording, and I needed to write a song about the divorce, both giving my ex respect and wishing her well, talking to my children about it. And I also had these two other images in my head, and this metaphor had been like trailing me around for a couple months, that the well of sorrow and the spring of joy were, fed by the same source, right? This whole idea that, David White talks about of love plus change equals heartache, and change is inevitable. And that there's also a guy named Martin Prechtel who has a speech, he has a talk called Grief and Praise, and a book called The Smell of Rain on Dust, which is about grieving and how we deal with our sorrows, and the ability to move it through the body, and even to move it through a society, to take it to the Sangha, to take it to those around you in a healthy way, where you can be supported and know you're held by your community. Something we pretty much completely lack in the West. And he talks about the Mayan concept that grief and praise are the same thing. In the Mayan language, they're the same word, and that they are both about love plus change, and love plus inevitable loss. And so that grief is praising that which you love and have lost, and praise is grieving that which you love and will lose. So, off I go. Oh, ye sisters and servants, children of mine, humble my heart, sharpen my mind. Though we're scattered and weary, change is upon us, we are bound till the end. Still a family, I promise. All that you love will be taken someday by the angel of death or the servants of change. In a flood water tide without rancor or rage, sing loud while you're able, in grief and in praise. So many years we swam into the tide, and we would not abandon the golden kind. Shared our sweat and our shelter, our bodies and blood. Godspeed and good fortune, I will miss you, love. For all you hold dear will be taken someday by the angel of death or the servants of change. In a flood water tide without rancor or rage, sing loud while you're able, in grief and in praise. Now we meet at the well, sorrow dug down to the heart of the earth, to be joined at its source to the spring of hope. Drink deep while you can, give thanks for your thirst. trees. Alrighty. Take care of each other. I'm going to try to do a stage it on Sunday. And then I'll be back on these here interwebs on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll be great. So thanks for coming out. Good to see you. Yeah, take care of each other. All right. I'll see you soon.